I'm not sure. This works. That's better. So to introduce ourselves, I think that's a good way to start. My name is Lodewijk Noordzij. I'm working as a policy advisor for NCC, the National Coordination Center, which is a governmental institution located at the Dutch Enterprise Agency. And the Enterprise Agency is an executive body, an executive agency from the Ministry of Economic Affairs. And we occupy ourselves with funding and subsidies, financial support for enterprises in the Netherlands, for entrepreneurs.
My name is Sander Pieters. I'm the community manager of dcypher. It's the Dutch, the national collaboration platform, somewhat similar as the NCC-NL. We try to bring different groups together from research, education, government, and the industry itself, trying to find challenges and risk, and try to identify if we can make an agenda on it, or even start programs together as a coalition. We'll explain a little bit more later in the presentation.
All right, thank you. So for today, what do we have for you? This is the end goal. We're trying to get to you to introduce to you our cybersecurity funding portal, which provides an overview of funding opportunities for cybersecurity related initiatives, products, services, innovations, courses, whatsoever. But we're going to go there through a bit of a storyline. First, understanding the environment. What do we do as organizational entities to support cybersecurity innovation and development inside that environment, that context, and then how does the Cybersecurity Funding Portal help us do that and help you get to the funding opportunities that you might be looking for to develop your service or your product. I think there's nothing new here. We see that there's a national and European context that's changing. But also a global context that is changing, not only because of the outcome of the elections a couple of days ago, where for Europe there's a bigger need or a bigger wish for strategic autonomy, for example, and a stronger way to compete. But that's also something that happens on the national level. From the National Coordination Center, working with the European partners, I can tell you something about the European context. I'm not quite sure what kind of organization you're working for, whether it's private or public or an academic institution. Any of these rules or regulations, policy of the past couple of years that have been introduced by the European Commission have a profound impact on the way you're going to do business or you're going to operate your services or your organization. Whether it is NIS2, the Cyber Resilience Act, the Cyber Solidarity Act, they're ambitious rules and regulations from the Commission, and they're trying to provide a stronger, a more resilient, a more safe European cyberspace, especially in an ongoing trend of digital transformation, data exchange also on the European level. That is what's, the current reality, so to speak. NIS2 is currently in force, and you have to deal with the consequences. Additionally, there have been two reports, the Safer Together report by Ninisto and the Future of European Competitiveness by Draghi. They've been published in the past couple of weeks, and they're actually feeding into the new Commission's mandate. And these two reports provide the two main pillars for policy, rules and regulations in the coming 4 to 5 years. And it's really important to consider that the first one, Safer Together, is all about defense, security and resilience. And not only military, but also civilian. And it contains a lot of mentions of cybersecurity initiatives to reinforce the resilience of and the preparedness of our union. And it will have more impact. It will provide opportunities, but also challenges to anyone that's operating in the cyberspace. The future of European competitiveness is about making sure that among others, small and medium enterprises, organizations developing innovations, trying to reap the benefits of technology, are able to access the European market in a better way so that we are able to compete on the global level as a European Union. The details for that, you can read the executive summaries. I find it wildly interesting, but maybe for others it's not. Just be sure that if you want to have a lookout on what you can expect on rules and regulations and with cybersecurity impact for the coming couple of years, potentially relevant for you as an organization, make sure to start with these two reports. There's also a national perspective, of course.
Yeah, thanks. That's indeed the case. If you take a look at the national perspective, one of the key focuses is the national technology strategy. That provides building blocks for a strategic technology policy, identifying the key technologies to make the Netherlands, that have a positive impact on the Netherlands ecosystem, and that's from an economic perspective, but also from a technical perspective. And cybersecurity is really one of the main key technologies that's being embedded there. I don't know if it was our Minister of Economic Affairs or the Director General that also emphasized that cybersecurity technologies is really a key priority for our nations to be more cybersecure as a nation. Again, the re-election, for example, for Trump, that's coming up in the new year, will I think make a difference. That we should more focus on our own strength within the Netherlands and then in Europe. And that's really a goal from dcypher and NCC-NL to bring together the research and the industry and try to innovate as much as possible on a local perspective and grow to a mature ecosystem.
Yeah. Well, thank you. So that's a bit of the context that we're dealing with from the European context or the European level and the national level. But then, what do we do as organizations or as teams to try and support the Dutch ecosystem of cybersecurity entities to make their way into this new reality, but also making sure that the Netherlands doesn't lag behind and that we seize the opportunities that innovative cybersecurity organizations might bring us. In general, we offer four services or four ways of working with the ecosystem. We provide information about European and Dutch funding opportunities. We also provide some backdrops, like the policy backdrops that we just provided, even though these were just high level. We help entities collaborate, so we can bring you in touch with either private parties to find expertise to further develop your solution. Maybe you want to work with an academic institution to execute some research to validate findings or assumptions. We also work on the programming of the funding instruments. So if there's money to be spent on the national level, some of it goes to digital, some of it goes to health sector, some of it goes to the social sector. From the parts of the digital money, we want to make sure that some of it goes to cybersecurity related initiatives, and we help define what kind of initiatives then might be able to find or to get their initiatives funded in line with policies that are relevant on the European level. Finally, for those programs, if there's funding instruments, some people might find it difficult to apply. They might find it hard to find the right instruments that are suitable for their activities. And we help the applicants to make sure that they write a quality proposal for the right instrument, so that you have a higher chance of a successful application. Specifically, as I said, the National Coordination Center works with the European Commission. The European Commission is a European institution, and it works with national coordination centers in each of the member states. So I have a colleague coordination center in France, in Germany, in Italy, and we're working very closely together to stimulate knowledge exchange, cooperation and innovation. We can do that by helping you find these international partners that I was just talking about, not necessarily for funded project, but also for individual collaborations, multilateral projects and collaborations. We also contribute to the development of the work programs, which I was just mentioning. And for NCC-NL, this means contributing to the division of a big amount of money. For example, for the coming 2 years, we're allocating 280 million euros of funding to the implementation of cybersecurity projects, and around 60 million for research in 2025, research in cybersecurity innovation, that is. Just illustrating a couple of goals. These are topics that provide funding for certain cybersecurity initiatives. You get an idea of the kind of money that is available. Development and deployment of advanced key technologies would be funding for projects that integrate, for example, artificial intelligence in the analysis of big data, big amounts of data, to support cyber threat intelligence, specifically across borders. So you can think about the collaboration in context of supply chains, for example. You also have support for the implementation of legislation. You can see there, for example, when you want to develop a twinning program between a company that is an originator, that is really familiar with certain tools, that twins with an adopter in another country with a company that is not necessarily so familiar with implementing cybersecurity tools. And by having this mentoring program, you increase a cross-border resilience in a supply chain, and you can receive money for such activities. That's just a couple of examples that are currently relevant. We also bring out our own funding. This is national. It's smaller amounts of money, 20 to 50,000, 60,000 euros for small and medium enterprises that are developing cybersecurity solutions by themselves. In 2025, in May or June, you may expect another round of funding to become available. For dcypher?
Yeah, for dcypher, it's, our main goal is to strive to make BV Netherlands a strong player on the cybersecurity field. And that's if you consider, for example, the United States, Israel, now Russia, China, but also Ukraine, who has grown up into the leading part of the cybersecurity market, then we as Netherlands should be the leading country within Europe, from our perspective. And therefore, we have certain goals where we try to support collaboration between research and the industry itself, and trying to identify agendas and make programs. And one of those programs, for example, is Cybersecurity 4.0. It's just ended after 1.5 successful year, where we over multiple sectors identified how do you call it in English? The multi-sectoral calls are on different themes within cybersecurity. How to identify, how to ensure cybersecurity by design, or even by default. So not only the coding needs to be secure, but also the policies and the procedures. And we did that together with the industry itself, but also research. And then we proposed some calls where we wrote an entire program and worked together. And I think we surpassed 25 million euro in 2025 in this 1.5-2 years. And it's now transitioning to the National Technology Strategy, where we as cybersecurity are part of the key technologies, and we will have an action agenda in the coming months. It's being supported by top sector ICT and Kia digitalization, and together we will facilitate a new program and start there. Yeah. Considering the time, I think we should focus a little bit on the portal itself.
Yeah, exactly, on the reason for today's presentation. The Cybersecurity Funding Portal focuses on information provision and support for applicants. Why have we developed it? What happened? We spoke with our clients, with our customers, so to speak, the people who came to us for advice. And many organizations say, what we have is unique, what we have works, what we have is incredible, but we need more funding and pilots to either demonstrate how it works and what the functionality is, or to be able to scale up and get to this market, not to this, how do you say it, financially, the stage where it's financially not relevant. Well, where it's able to sustain itself. That's it. Yes. Well, that is then the question is, okay, and we're very interested in funding, but we never get there because the landscape is incredibly complex and we do not know where to find what's out there. And when we finally find something that caters to our needs and provides funding for that what we're trying to do, we do not understand at all what is being asked from us. What are the eligibility conditions? What happens from a legal point of view? How do I make the budget? And then the people say, okay, I'm just going to stop doing that and I'm going to go back to my business as usual and leave my innovations for what they are. We are here to say, do not despair and realize that you're not alone. dcypher is here, the National Coordination Center is here, and we have created the funding portal to help you out as a first step. The idea is that it's a place where you have all the information in one, at the reach of your hand. It's a complete overview of cybersecurity subsidies in the Netherlands. I'm putting an asterisk there. It's currently, we've gone live, I think, last month, and there's a very large scope of potential funding opportunities for cybersecurity. There are specific ones, but also generic ones which allow for opportunities for cybersecurity funding. So for us, it's also a constant exploration of making sure that we enrich the database with all the opportunities that are there. And we try to use a user-friendly UI with easy-to-do filtering, which focuses on who you are and what you do. And if that doesn't work and you're looking for tailor-made support and you have your questions, you do not want to talk to an AI bot or a chat program, you can send us the email and you'll be connected to one of our many advisors. You can try for yourself if you like. This one brings you to the filter option. This one brings you to the contact form for tailor-made support. Tailor-made support can be anything from talking about what you do with your business and what kind of innovations you have, the plans that you have to grow or to expand, or specific questions about a very specific funding instrument for which you're interested to apply. Yeah, let's say you take your time to scroll around, to wander around the pages, and if there's any questions, stay in touch. You can find us here at one of the stands, or well, just tap us on the shoulder when you see us walking around for any of the questions you might have. So basically that's it. Thank you for listening.